Oi, 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 oi. Merry Wednesday, you wonderful so-and-sos. I'm feeling double fresh. Just come out from a cheeky workout. I've got me cheeky Peroni Zero, being a good boy. 14 days in, no drinking. But you haven't came here for that shit. You've came here to talk about Arsenal and talk about Chelsea because there's a big game coming up just in a couple of hours. When we're finished up here, we will be redirecting over to Brother Rashid, which I will also be on. So come and follow us from over here, over there. Let's say hello to a couple of people in the chat as well. Hopefully everyone's day's been good. Mine's been double buzzing. I'm bouncing off the walls. I've had a pre workout shake, so I'm flying. Plus, I've been listening to a lot of Steel Panther, some very hard metal band, and yeah, man, they get you fucking going. Big up the Quaja. How you doing, brother? Big up to Aaron Talks Arsenal, the legend. Big up to you, brother. He supports all the channels all the time. That's greatly appreciated, Quadra, my brother. And saying good evening to everyone. Of course, man. Good evening to anyone that's in the chat. It's good evening to anyone that's going to watch this on playback, that's going to jump in soon, that's going to jump out soon. Whatever. Big up to every single one of you. And yeah, Quadra saying, yeah, this is interesting, bruv. Saliba and Trossard have both been included in the Arsenal squad to face Chelsea. Look, I'm going to be doing what I would choose as a lineup in just a little bit. I haven't included them, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But big up to you, Quadra. We've got a big up to Kana, mate. Kana AFC. Big up to you, brother. He's saying, yes, Aaron, what's up, geezer? What's up to you, man? And bless up to the chat. Bless up to you as well. Thanks for the watch. It's not going to be the longest show today. Like I said, we've got to jump on Rashid's. But big up to you, man. Big up to everyone that's in the chat, man. What we're saying here understands that also we're not considering an Ethan Winery on loan. Yeah, look, we're going to get into a little bit of Arteta press conference bollocks in a second. We've got that coming up. We've got a little bit of head-to-head, and there's a little bit of a gal watch. I'm sure every single one of you are going to enjoy the little clip that I've got coming up. It's so a gal, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But big up to you, man. Big up to Gav in the building. What you saying, Gav, brother? Hopefully you're all good, mate. Yeah, man. I mean, I can't pronounce that, but I know the geezer you're on about from Mortal Kombat. If I try and pronounce it, bruv, I'm going to absolutely mash it up. So I know what you're saying, though, taking people's souls and careers. That's what he is, bruv. Mikel Arteta, the career ender. He absolutely destroys his players. He hasn't got a single shred of welfare for these players whatsoever. And you notice it. We notice it. You do in the chat as well. No one fools you but a lot in the chat. You're proper. You're world class. Come on, man. Yeah, a couple of minutes. Yeah, we've been having mic issues lately. I don't really know why. Probably because the mic's not very good. I don't know. We will sort that out. Big up to Ashley Popes in the building, man. What you saying, bruv? Hope you're all good. Aces, man, as well. He's been here for day dot, and you, Aces, bruv. I'll give you that. Big up to you, mate. Yeah, a T. Gunner. I don't think so. It's usually like an hour and 15 or something beforehand, isn't it? So I wouldn't have thought so. But if you sort of half meant my lineup, that's just what I would go with. It's not what I think Mikel Arteta would go with. They're two different lineups. But yeah, we'll get to that very, very, very shortly. Yeah, it's definitely not out. Yeah, we've got Big Rock in the building, brother. Big up to you, mate. I see this match being a 1-1 draw. But we'll play well. Listen, there's a poll in the chat for anyone that wants to have a little go. I'll have a little look through that as the chat goes on. Would you be happy with a draw, everyone in the chat? Let me know. What do you reckon? I'll get my thoughts on that very, very, very soon. But I'm interested to know your thoughts. So let me know, man. Just if it's the same clip as I saw, it's bad. No. It's not that clip. It's a clip you all definitely would have seen before, in some way, shape, or form. But it's my own little mashup to take the piss out of the prick. So hold for that. Yeah. You'll all enjoy it. It's so a gal, man. Come on. It's so a gal. You'll have to stay for that. The girl, how you doing, my girl? All good? I've arrived. She has indeed arrived. Big up to you. How have you all been behaving? Me, I'm always well behaved. Always well behaved. Always well behaved over here. Hopefully you're well behaved too, my girl. I'm sure you're a lot better behaved than I am. I can't help but break the rules. I'm a naughty bastard. Sue me. Big up to you though, my girl. Hope you are well. But listen, I'm going to get straight into my what I would do for the lineup, and I'm intrigued to know what your guys' thoughts are going to be on it. So let me know in the chat what you'll do differently. Let's have a little look for this. So I've gone David Raya, of course. I think at the semi-final stage, it's probably a bit too much of a risk to put Kepa in goal here. So I've gone with a proper keeper. Do you know what I mean? Big up to AFC in the chat as well. I've just seen you come in there. Big up to you, brother. So what I've done is, in light of, yes, I do know and I am aware and do appreciate that Bill Saliba is in the squad. For me, I would absolutely, well and truly, not rush that geezer back. If he genuinely had picked up an injury or picked up a knock or whatever caused him to miss our last game, I wouldn't be rushing the guy back. So for me, Bill Saliba is nowhere near this side. Maybe he'll be on the bench. I don't know. But I don't want him in this side purely because if he has got a knock, I don't know what part of his body it's on. But I don't want to play a Chelsea away, a real tough London derby. Maybe we're up, maybe we're down in the game. I don't know. But I don't want any spiteful challenges coming onto him because if he's knocking on the door of being ready, Bill Saliba, and he's only a week away, what's the point in playing him here? Now, I know we're short on defenders, but what's the point in rushing him back? Because if it means him being rested for this game, but we can have him for Nottingham Forest, which is a big game, by the way, people. Don't get that twisted. It's a massive, massive, massive game. Nottingham Forest away. It has to be. We've got to win there. And we need Bill Saliba there. So I don't want us to risk him. We'd be devastated, us here, if Bill Saliba picked up an injury, being rushed back today, and he's out for 4 weeks. We haven't got, at the minute, the defensive cover to be able to long-term sustain that kind of injury to one of our big centre-backs. So yeah, for me, Ben White comes in. The reason why Ben White's there, I don't really fancy Norgard in against Chelsea. I think that's too much of a downgrade. Ben White, okay, we don't really want him playing loads as well. Mikel Arteta's fucked him. But I reckon, he needs some minutes in his legs. He had a bit of a run out last week, or against what's it called, against Portsmouth. I think that we can assess him. We'll see how he is after 60 minutes. But we need Jurriën Timber in there, of course. So we're short on numbers at this point. Jurriën Timber gets my right back. We got Ben White as centre back. We got Gabriel, of course, you've noticed as well. Who, I'm keen to rest, but numbers have limited me to choosing Gabriel today. I sort of think, if possible, if we're having a stormer of a game, let's just talk hypothetical, because, we can be positive over here. If he's having an absolute belter of a game, Gabriel, and we're 2-0 up, we're 3-0 up, hypothetically talking, just get him off. 80 minutes gone, see the game out, just get him off, give him a 10-minute breather. All of them little 10-minute breathers add up over the course of a 50, 60-game season. Don't let people tell you otherwise, people. And, of course, we've got a bit of cheeky Lewis Skelly, who is my left back. I mean, sort of by default, really. Unfortunately for Skelly, he's kind of giving me Zinchenko vibes. What do you lot reckon in the chat? I'm just going to come back to you guys in the chat as well, because I don't want to leave it too long if I carry on doing the midfield. So that's my defence and goalkeeper. I'll come back to the midfield and I'll say hello to the rest of you in the chat. It's Joseph, big up, bruv. 100% believe in VG14. Hope so. He's the best striker in the club by a country mile. I mean, talent-wise, he should be. In this system, yes, debatable, but I hear you, bruv. I get where you're coming from. Yes, Martin Tapp. Come on, brother. Thumbs out, guns out with Martin Tapp. Look at he's got the old biceps on the go. I'm a little bit far behind, mate, but I'm getting there. I'm back in the gym. I'm losing the old squidge, and we're gonna get them biceps. Maybe not as big as Martin Tapp's, but we'll get there, bruv. Big up to you, Marts. Hope you're doing good, my brother. We got another legend in the building, man. We got Lynch. Big up to fucking Lynch. Come on, man. Every single time. Yeah, and everyone's saying good evening to each other. That's what we want to see, man. That's what we want to see. Big up, Black Crow, bruv. Hope you are doing good. White's legs are going to combust. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I reluctantly put him in there purely because of numbers. I'd rather White go in there and see if, he can respond to a few more minutes in his legs rather than rushing Saliba back. Some people may disagree with that. Look, we're all entitled to our opinions, innit? And I respect yours as well. But yeah, I hear where you're coming from, man. Hopefully they don't. TQ, big up to you, bruv. Hendo, big up to Hendo in the building, man. Good up to you and everyone watching. That's a great point to everyone watching. We got 80 in the building. If you could smash that like button, if you could hit that subscribe, and if you could put cheeky little notification bell on. YouTube are trying to fuck us. Fuck you, YouTube. The girl Gaffer, we better not lose. I double hope so, my dear. I double, treble, quadruple hope so. I have a Chelsea colleague, and she's been doing my natting. Don't have it, mate. Trust me, we're going to win today. Go into the office or wherever your workplace is. She's getting under your skin easily, unfortunately. Don't have it, my girl. Go there and give her the what for tomorrow, because we're going to win today. Don't worry. I've got a feeling. Woo-hoo. How do you get on the panel? I mean, well, to be fair, it's the first time I've seen you in the chat. I think, and apologies if you have been in the chat before and I haven't seen you. Sometimes in certain panels, it's very hard to keep up with the chat. But one, usually, you know what I mean? I like it when people have got a channel to go on set panels. But, you know, once I've seen you in the chat a few times, I get to get the gist of what you're about. What I do is a call-in show on a Friday, and I have done for quite a while. So if I get a feel with it, you got to put your face on. You know, unfortunately, you know, there's no audio only. You got to stick your face on, but you know, if essentially, I don't want a random geezer coming on that show, coming on and start putting porn on, starting doing some stuff that's going to get the show cancelled. Do you know what I mean? So I'm quite rightly selective. But if I've seen you, you know what I mean, and you're in the chat a few times, that's what I do the calling for. You're welcome. Friday, 8:30, every single Friday, just for anyone else as well that wanted to know that. Big up to you, the best player. Big up. Yeah, hello to you. Double hello. Come on, the Arsenal. I absolutely second you, my brother. Come on. Come on. Another Mr. Simpleton, that Lego boss you have is very easy to dislike. Oh, trust me. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. He is extremely double, treble, quadruple easily to dislike, isn't he, my friend? Yeah, fuck the draw. Yeah, that's it, Hendo. Come on. Tell him, Hendo. Don't have it, man. For people that don't know, I've met Hendo a couple of times now. What a lovely geezer. And he's saying, fuck the draw. Well, you know, it'd probably be an absolute stinkfest of a draw. And absolutely, you know, I absolutely get where you're coming from. I hope you're wrong. The head is ticking over and thinking you might be right. The heart is going for a cheeky little 2-1 win. I always sort of say, you know, I can't help myself on that. Before we cross MLS, please remember he's not left back. Absolutely. This is a fantastic point to make. I do totally get that. Neither was Zinchenko, you know. It's the manager that's playing him there. Maybe numbers and the fact that he's left-footed is what's keeping him there at the minute. Of course, Hincapi and Calafiori injuries are not helping whatsoever. If we had a few more injuries, what I'd do for big games personally, if Ben White was a bit more reliable, was I'd have Timber on the left and Ben White on the right. And of course, two centre-backs like Saliba and Gabriel. That's what I'd do for certain games where left-backs are injured. However, we've got more injuries and can't really do that today, unfortunately. But yeah, I get it. I totally agree with you, Fitzjoseph. It's a banging comment, and I do agree with you, bro. It's not the lineup. It's just a lineup that I would go with, mate. So we'll come back to the chat in a minute. We'll hold the chat there. Big up to everyone. Big up to Helsinki as well in the building just before I come back into the chat. So a midfield, you know, there's only sort of one sort of change really that that people like, you know, people might be a little bit surprised with or whatever. Gone for Declan Rice. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Declan. Without that mofo, Declan Rice, right in the middle there, Arsenal Football Club would not be having the season that they're having. And they wouldn't be having the season we could have should Declan Rice not be in this team. So, I mean, firstly, it's a fantastic purchase. And secondly, he has been outstanding. He's been unbelievable. He's probably been my favourite midfielder in that esque role, really, since Patrick Vieira and Gilberto were lining up there. You know, he's got it all. And you know, I don't really care where they're coming from, but I'm an Englishman, you know, and I love the fact that he's English. He's a proper leader. So, yeah, big up to Declan Rice and happy birthday to the son of a bitch. We've got Zubamendi on the right-hand side. Zubamendi purely because I don't want to see Mikel Merino there. I do not want to see Kai Havertz there. They are not good enough. And certainly, you know, if they're fit, I don't want to bloody see Norgard there. I want him to be a bit part. I want him to come on to hold a lead, to protect a lead, to just rest some legs. That's all. So I've gone for Zubamendi, quite simple. And I've gone for Eze as well. A bit anonymous against Portsmouth, annoyingly. You know, he's got to do something. And I think away at Nottingham Forest, he will absolutely, or I would absolutely probably be playing Odegaard purely because of the control in the midfield. It's away. This game, I think Chelsea are going to come out at us more than Nottingham Forest will. I think Nottingham Forest will want to shut up and are more likely to play that low block. Whereas Chelsea today, I think, especially gauging the last Premier League game, they want to come at us. So I'm thinking if we're going to expose them lines, I'd rather Eze to do that. If Chelsea are going to go on the attack, I want Declan Rice and Eze to be countering. You know, so that's why I've gone for Eze over an Odegaard today. And I've gone for Victor Jokerit. Do you know what? Let's start with Martinelli, actually. We'll come to the striker last. Let's start with Martinelli. I've got my Martinelli purely because, again, we got the news that Trossard picked up a little cheeky knock. So mine's more precautionary again. But also, it's maybe a good thing for Martinelli, you know. Okay, it weren't the prettiest of hat-tricks. You know, he did also miss a sitter against Portsmouth. And it's only Portsmouth. However, he did get himself a hat-trick. They all count. They all add to the statistics, I guess. He is our leading scorer as well. So what my challenge is for Martinelli today against Chelsea is, okay, cool. You can do it against Portsmouth. Brilliant. Fantastic. Wonderful. Now go do it in a semi-final away at Chelsea. And that's my challenge to Martinelli. You've had a good performance on the weekend. Sure you did. Back it up with another performance. I'm not saying you have to score another hat-trick, Gabriel Martinelli. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I'm expecting you to get another hat-trick. But what I am saying is, don't pull out a stinker of a performance, because he's hit and miss. He's up and he's down. He's hot and he's cold. He's yes and he's no. He's in and out. You know what I mean? Katy Perry vibes and all of that shit. You know, you've got to be consistently doing some performing well, you know, Martinelli. So that's the challenge. Don't piss about. Back it up. If you don't get a goal, get an assist. If you don't get assist, have a fucking blinder. Do you know what I mean? You can't just hit and miss all the time. You've got to be consistent. So, you know, we'll switch over to the other side, straight over to the right-hand side. I'm looking at Bukayo Saka. You know, he got some rest on the weekend. You know, I'm quite happy, you know, to have him in there. It's probably a good option maybe to sub him off after 67 minutes. Game dependent. Saka lovers, calm yourself down. You know, if he's having a belter of a game and coasting and we're doing well, bring Madueke on. If he's having a stinker after 60, 70 minutes, bring Madueke on. You know, utilise your squad now. But I've gone with Saka just for that extra little bit of stardust. I mean, I know he's not having the best of times. You know, he's not really been himself since that injury. And I get that. You know, he's been rushed back. The confidence is probably a little bit low. Maybe he can't do some of the things he used to be able to. Maybe that little bit of burst of pace is missing from Bukayo Saka. But on his day, you know what I mean? He needs a good game. And I'd love him to get back to a bit of confidence, get back to a bit of normality of what we used to see him from Bukayo Saka. Get in there, man. Get in there. Get yourself a cheeky goal today. Cut inside and don't fucking blaze it all the way in Rosie like you have been doing. Okay? So if you hear a little bit of noise, I do apologise. My missus and my baby girl are walking in the door. Mwah. That's just to my baby girl. You know, the missus is going to give me the eyes soon so she can go fuck herself. Love you, really. You know, come on, guys. You got to say it. Yeah. I'm getting a finger. And rightly so as well. Hold on, princess. I'm loving. Mwah. Love you. Ah, bless her little cotton socks. She's just come back from gymnastics, didn't you, baby girl? Yes, yeah. She knows to be a little bit quiet because Daddy's streaming. But yeah, we're going to go into the striker now. But actually, before we go to the striker, let's come back to the chat because I don't want it to go too far down. I want to make sure I say hello to as many of you as possible. We got another simpleton. Have we read this one out? Yeah, I think we've read this one out. Let's scroll a little bit further down. Apologise if I have missed it. It's not on purpose. But yeah, big up the Black Crow. What we saying here? Arteta's injury crisis has got us worried. Who's going to get knocked next? I don't know. Who's on the firing line? It could be you. Any lineup is a toss-up. Exactly, mate. 150%. Let's scroll a little bit further down. Who we got? Galen in the building. Big up to you, my dear. Hope you're all good. Always nice to see you in the chat. Understandable. We'll chat to you Friday. Yeah, look, just you know, just pop, show yourself about in the chat. I want to know what you're about. Do you know what I mean? And you know, after a little bit of time, do you know what I mean? If you want to call in, I'll see you backstage, see what you're about. That's what the call-in's for, bruv. But big up to you. Sorry about the come on city. No, listen, it is what it is, bruv. You know what I mean? Let's not being rude. Don't apologise for that. You know what I mean? Come on, man. We're all good here. We're not going to cry our eyes out like all the top gooners. Do you know what I mean? We don't do that over here. Do you know what I mean? That's not what we're all about, man. Any bit of banter's welcome. Do you know what I mean? I've got thick skin. I'm not a little bitch. I'm not going to cry like, you know, the gals of the planets. You know, oh, did I say a gal? Sorry about that.
Shamon, motherfucker. It's Shamon. Shamon. Ow! Ow! Motherfucker. Shamon, motherfucker. Shamon. Motherfucker. It's bad, invincible motherfucker. Ow! Shamon, motherfucker. Ow! Motherfucker. Motherfucker. Ow! 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 Shamon. Ow!
Gal and his toxic positivity, motherfucker. Come on, man. Come on. There's so a gal in it. Come on. Spot on, Aaron, the girl Gaffer saying. Yeah, we need to be able to counter Martinelli. Absolutely, 100%, you know. He can't just be doing it here, there, the odd bit of games, you know. He needs to get a good run of form going, you know. It's not good enough, man. Which team do you support? If that's aimed to me, I don't know. I support Arsenal, bruv. Aaron talks Arsenal. If that's aimed at me, it might not be. And if if it is aimed at me, I mean, the proof's in the pudding. Yeah, Aaron talks Arsenal. Come on, brah. Do you think the kid Salmon will end up needing to jump in? Look, listen. I only want to see someone like that jump in. He's only 16. You've got to be a little bit delicate with some of these players. It's all going to be game dependent, and I know that don't really answer your question very well. But like I said, if we're having a nice little bit of a coach, bring him on for the last 5 minutes. If the game's, really in the balance and Chelsea are peppering us, and I'm in there really giving our defence a hard time, I don't want to see a 16-year-old kid brought on then, because one bad mistake that leads to a goal and they win 2-1 and his confidence is absolutely crushed. So if we're to see him, one, I don't hope we see him because of injury, because I don't want any of our players to get injured, of course. But yeah, two, I want it to be sensible. If we are coasting and we're having a right good game and we're well comfortable, bring him on for a couple of minutes, but we got to be sensible about it. Someone, a kid that age in that position, is probably where you make a mistake and it can lead to goals. We don't want to crush the geezer. But big up to you. Thank you very much. We've got Mad Max in the building. Big up to you, man. How are you doing? All good? Yeah. A little gymnastic prodigy. Yeah, man. She's cool, man. Yeah. Well, listen. To be fair, my girl, it's only her first day. She's only just turned 5. So my boy, he goes football 4 times a week. He's 8, and yeah, my little princess is 5. So we're just trying to get her something, and build it around and fit it around the schedule and all of that. So yeah. Well, who knows? When I'm off live, I'll ask her how it went. I'm sure it'll be good. But thank you very much for asking. Yeah, Lynch, come on, man. Big up the views. Big up the views in the building. But yeah, let's go back to Gyökeres. Nasigal. Hee, Shamon, motherfucker. Yeah, Gyökeres. Time's knocking, time's ticking away. You got to start doing something, Yok. Granted, I know and appreciate, and I get the pushback on what I'm going to say. The system ain't great for him. I know that. I appreciate that. I totally get that. He was also told that things would be changing maybe to suit him. Maybe not drastically, but that hasn't happened either. But Gyökeres, he's got to start doing something. He really has got to start doing something. I put it on 70% Arteta in the system as to why he's really struggled. But 30% I've got to lay on you, man. You're 27 years old, not 17-year-old striker, Big Vic. You're coming in as an established professional in the peak of your powers, from sporting. At that age, you've got to be doing better. You're spending 65 million on a geezer who has played in England before, by the way. Maybe not at the top level like this for Brighton, he didn't. And, he done reasonably well at Coventry at a lower level. But it's not as if he's not used to the hustle and bustle. The Championship is a much more physical league than this. Let me tell you that for absolute facts. So if you can handle the hustle and bustle there and score goals, you can somewhat do it in the Premier League. The problem with him is he thinks he's got 10 seconds on the ball every time. The ball comes to him, you ain't got that time. If you're going to take a lot of time on the ball, your first touch has to be immaculate. He looks like he's playing with his steel toe caps on sometimes. The trampoline fucking boy, do you know what I mean? The ball just bounces straight away from him. He's got to be better, Victor Gyökeres, I get it. He's only been here for 6 months. Some people take longer than others to settle in. I get it. I totally get it. I do. I appreciate all of that. But you've got to show me something now. It's not 5 or 6 games in now, Victor. It's 5 or 6 months in now, Victor. And you've got his boy Kai Havertz ready to come back, and Gabriel Jesus is already there. Your chances under this manager are going to be limited. You've got to do something. So Victor Gyökeres, for crying out loud, if it's going to be a tight game today against Chelsea, put with Chelsea, then be the difference maker. You know what I mean? Score the winning goal or get the first goal. Do you know what I mean? Get the important goal, just show me something, Victor, for crying out loud. But listen, that's the lineup I'd go with. Let's have a little look at the previous at the forms of the team. So Chelsea, they got a new manager, and the new manager got them a bounce against the mighty Charlton away. They won that comfortably 5-1 against the mighty Charlton. But prior to that, disappointing 2-1 loss away to Fulham. A draw with Manchester City, which, on the face of it, is not too bad. Fair dues. A Bournemouth, a cheeky draw, 2-2, a bit of Desmond at home, and then a 2-1 loss at home to Aston Villa. Yes, under Maresca, but the form still isn't fantastic. And then you switch over to us. You know, our last one comfortable again, just like Chelsea's against Charlton. We had a comfortable outing against Portsmouth. Well, you know, maybe not for the first 3 minutes, but you kind of hear me. Disappointing 0-0 draw at home to Liverpool. It has to be said, very disappointing, but it makes for reasonably decent decent viewing in terms of the W's when you got a cheeky 3-2 win away at Bournemouth. That's all cool. 4-1 and marvelous, excellent, fantastic. The superlatives continue. With Aston Villa, of course, 4-1 buzzing, and then 2-1 home to Brighton. You know, this is all good. You know, but we've got to keep this run going. I'm interested, people. What do you reckon? What do you reckon today? Give me some scores in the chat. What we saying? Because I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I'm kind of thinking a 2-1. That's where I'm at. My head, I've got 2-1s, and it's a cop out. I know it is, so I do apologise. My head's going 1-1, but my heart's going for a cheeky little 2-1. I think if anyone's to win it 2-1, if you said to me, Nosey, look, boy, it's going to be a cheeky 2-1 win for one team. What one you putting it on? I'll go for Arsenal. You know, I'll go for Arsenal. We got the best player. We got a couple of 2-0s. We got a 1-1 Pens again. You know, I mean, it won't go to Pens tonight, Black Crow, of course. But what you're saying, 1-1 over the two legs, I'm presuming. Just saying that as well. I will be at the return leg. I think it's February the 3rd. I will be there to hopefully, you know, be chanting about us going to Wembley. I double hope that. I'd take this, bruv. Listen, Oliver, let's get that absolutely right. I mean, I wouldn't be putting your mortgage on it anytime soon. My fridge Della freezer, or betting the dog in the picture. You know, for an 8-0 win. You know what I mean? Don't put him down as don't put him down as a bit of payment. But you know, I'll take it. I very much doubt it. You know, but here we go. What we saying? 2-1 tonight, the Arsenal. Yeah, that's it. I'm liking your thinking, bruv. I'm liking your thinking. That's what we got to be looking at. You know, anything other than the draw would be disappointing, people. I mean, if we was to lose tonight, especially after seeing how good Manchester City were last night. You know, that would be a very disappointing night for Arsenal Football Club. Minimum. But I am with Hendo. Fuck the draw. But minimum. We have to be going at least with a draw. I don't want a draw, but we can't be getting any less than a draw, people, you know. And I don't want us to get 2-2s because I don't want our defence to start conceding for absolute fun. Not yet, bud. Sorry. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't want that. So yeah, I'm hoping that we can take a nice little cheeky bastard of a win back to the Emirates. What was that? What was Hendo saying here? What was Hendo saying here? Give us 2 seconds. That's something Hendo said. Here we go. Haaland is the forward with the most misses in the Premier League so far this season. But since he gets great service, he's also the top scorer so far. And that's exactly my point. He gets a lot of service. And do you know what as well, Hendo, and for everyone still in the chat, big up to you. Like and subscribe. Come on, smash that notification button. Let's get us to 3K, man. And smash a like on the stream as well. It double helps with the algorithm because YouTube are being beeps. Yeah, no, I get it. When I went to Sporting Lisbon away, I think it was last year, I went to the Champions League group stage game away. And I went round and had a little chat to a few, not on the camera, just in general. I went out and I had a chat with a few of their fans, and they said that he misses quite a lot. And exactly copy and paste, Hendo, what you said. He misses quite a lot, but he gets a lot of service, so he ends up scoring a lot. Now, you know, when you're translating to almost no service, he's having to almost score 1-in-1, you know, to get on the score sheet because he's getting no service. He's starved of it. But you know, if you're not going to do that, if you're not going to have efforts or get yourself involved in the game, you've got to find some way, shape, or form to impact the game. Get in the game. You've got to do something. And for me, he just hasn't quite done enough for that for me just yet. But you know, and I think before as well, you're sort of saying Gyökeres could do fuck all if he doesn't get the ball. Yeah, I hear you as well. He's not a magician. I could understand if he's missing sitter after sitter, but he isn't. Yeah, look, I totally get that. I do totally get that. But I mean, yeah, granted, he's not getting the service, but the problem is he's just totally anonymous. There's no point in him. Then you know what I mean? We may as well not play him. If he's not going to get any service and he has to have service in order to do something in the game, and then he's not doing anything for 90 minutes, he may as well not play under this system or this manager. And that's the frustrating thing, you know. It's just, yeah, It's a cheeky one, isn't it? We got Tipsy. Tilly Tips. Talk to me, Tilly. Two guys in Gabriel Jesus and, of course, Kai Havertz, who have scored 29 Premier League goals in 2 seasons, are the saviours. They are the saviours for Arsenal. What a joke. Do you know what? I've done the same thing on Monday. I think that was my title on Monday. You know, he's coming in to save us. All the top gooners have such short memories, man. You know, Kai Havertz wasn't even bought as a striker. He had to play there. And Mikel Merino's probably better than him there, who was also a central midfielder. We brought Gyökeres in to replace the two, but they're like, oh, yeah, we can't wait till Jesus and Havertz come back. Like, you wanted him replaced 5 minutes ago. What one is it? Come on. But, you know, we keep all the receipts for things like that, people. Do you know what I mean? We're not silly over here, are we? Do you know what I mean? We're not silly over here. What sort of time are we looking at? Half hour. I'll tell you what. Do you know what? We will wrap it up there. But do you know what? Before we do, let's just add a little bit of this pleb. So I read this yesterday and I just wanted to share it while I was online with everyone. And look at this shit that comes out of this geezer's mouth. People with Arteta's agendas will celebrate if we draw or lose. They're all weirdos. They're all weirdos. And then he's coming up here with his silly comment after saying that we all have our agendas. Then he comes out with this absolute load of bollocks. Manchester City, PSG, Shimon, Real Madrid, Barcelona, woo-hoo, and then Bayern Munich. They're all going to knock on Mikel Arteta's door if he was available, and they need a manager. What a load of bollocks. I mean, how has this geezer got 30,000+ subscribers? I will never know. Oh, yeah, I do know, because he talks a load of bollocks to a load of idiots that fucking listen to it. Shame on you for people that listen to bollocks like this.
Shamon, motherfucker. It's Shamon. Shamon. Ow! Ow! Motherfucker. Shamon, motherfucker. Shamon. Motherfucker. He's bad, invincible motherfucker. Ow! Shamon, motherfucker. Ow! Motherfucker. Motherfucker. Ow! 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 Shamon. Ow!
On that note, we are out of here. We're redirecting to Rashid. Come follow me over there. I will be on live with him. Come on, mother.